Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here playing Cuphead, and this is the final video in the All Bosses at an A rank series, showing off the final boss battle against the Devil. Now, what I used for this boss battle was the pea shooter and the spread shot, which I would recommend. And then personally, I used the energy beam super art as well as coffee. However, when I replayed this on expert, I found that invincibility was actually a more useful super art for me. And most people would probably say that smoke dash is more useful than coffee in much of these boss battles. I actually also on my expert playthrough used automatic parry on this boss battle, as I found it easier than any of the other abilities. What I'm trying to say here is that you can kind of go crazy with your setup and do whatever works for you, although I'd probably recommend that energy beam and coffee personally for my playstyle. Now, hopping into the boss battle, you're going to see that the general strategy is to use the spread shot standing directly under the Devil and just keep jumping so that you can land as many shots as possible. And then you're going to be reacting to whatever he does next, which there are a ton of different options here. Now, regardless of what the Devil's doing, there's always going to be a purple guy running left to right or right to left. I found the best strategy was to usually just jump over him. Additionally, another move that is guaranteed is the smack from both sides of the screen at the same time. What I would recommend for this is to jump and use your X move to give yourself a little bit of more airtime to dodge this more easily. He can also transform into a serpent and come from the left to the right or right to the left. What I would recommend is that you stand as far away as possible from him and then dash towards the middle as he leaves, making sure to watch out for the purple dudes running in from the sides. He can also transform into a spider. At this point, it's just very important that you dash away from him as he comes down and try to shoot him. He can do this between 3 and 5 times and he'll return to his original position. Last but not least, he can spawn 4 bouncy balls, a bunch of vortexes, or 5 flames in circles, and those each have their unique patterns. Just adjust accordingly and make sure you parry the object that's available, damaging him enough in order to get to the next phase. At the beginning of this phase, you will have 5 platforms to stand on, although burning poker chips will fly down and try to stomp you, so make sure you're watching out for those. Additionally, you can either have an axe. For the axe that spawns, I would recommend being as far away as possible from the middle, and as it rotates, coming back to the center. Then you can also have a bomb that comes out of his ear that you'll either need to parry before it explodes or be far enough away to not get hurt by the explosion. After that phase, there will only be 3 platforms, and then 2 purple dudes will spawn on the side, continuing with the burning poker chips as well. The purple dudes will spit out skulls, and sometimes they will be parryable, and taking them out is a viable option, although you're free to also just focus on doing damage to the boss instead. There will also be some rotating enemies that try to attack you. Just continue damaging the boss until you go to the final phase where there's only 1 platform. Now, for the last platform, what you're going to want to do is jump over the burning poker chip, and you can either parry off of the tier, or if you do it timed properly, you don't have to parry at all. Continue damaging him and feel free to use your X moves until he is finally defeated, and you will complete the game, as well as hopefully grab that A rank. If you did King Dice with an A rank as well, you unlock a separate achievement. There's a lot going on in this boss battle, but once you learn the patterns, it's really not that bad, especially if you keep retrying and make sure that you can avoid some of the obstacles that you don't like doing. After completing the game for the first time, you can also now go back to an old boss and play on Expert to get an S rank and a separate achievement. When I went back on Expert, this boss battle was actually one of the easier ones in my opinion and only took me around 15 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like on this series if it was helpful. Special thanks to the amazing people on Patreon, and hopefully I see you guys next time. Peace.